Guys, as we wait for the next episode, let's talk about some things here. Benny exposed the Debbie in front of Clara and her sister Teresa. Now my question is, do you think that we should see Clara meeting Hanks to talk about this issue? Should Clara go put aside the difference they have between her and Hanks so that they can talk about the issue, so that they can find the solution to this problem which was plotted by Debbie and the likes of Emeka? Or you think that that Jonathan and Clara should sit down and talk about it, as we all know that Jonathan and Clara now are two different people. They are two separate people. They cannot even now agree on some issue. I don't think that if Clara talks to Jonathan about this, or about what Benny talked about, what Benny said on Debbie, Jonathan will accept it, because Jonathan knows that Clara might go to any extent to support or to defend the Hanks. So for me, my suggestion is, since we've got Benny, before it's too late, it's high time Hanks and Clara meet up so that they can know how to reach to the end of this issue. Remember that the crime was done by two people, Emeka and Debbie. Now, if Debbie is exposed by Benny, which means that Debbie is going to talk to Emeka, and Emeka will also find a way of executing. They might even kidnap this young girl, which will cause a lot of her problems to Hanks all again, as well as Clara. But as for me, as I said, it's high time Hanks meets Clara and Benny, so that Benny can speak about, because if Hanks received a message from Benny and Benny received a message from her mother, which means that the people who send the messages, they know these two people very well, that they are in love, or they were once in love, so they want to separate them, or if not, to collide them, so that they can separate their own ways, not talking to each other. Now, as I said, that we are always making decisions in sadness and in happiness, but most of the time we do mistakes in making decisions when we are mad. Before we think twice. I accept that Clara was very mad over Hanks without hearing from his side, but this is the time now. The two have to come together and they gang up so that they can negate the truth. And this is the time to get Benny to go and make a statement at the police station, because for the file of the crime is still there, and it's still pinning that Hanks might be the one who is the suspect of all what happened. We need to know, was really this young girl raped? Who raped this young girl? If it's true that they raped her, if they did not rape her, what was the motives? What was the thing behind her kidnap, or her being staged in that hotel with Hanks, so that we know who brought the journalist? All this is in the question. Now, as we all know that Jonathan is now being exposed or being trashed by Emeka, but since stupidity is always on him, and he always thinking that he is the wisest man among all the three people, now this is the same thing. Because if Emeka can speak and say, now what is the meaning of family? See how the family of Jonathan has just scattered, just in a blink of an eye, without anything, without even taking time. And you think that family is very important, meaning that this man, what he is doing, Emeka, what is Emeka is doing is what he wants. believe me or not, he wants to see Jonathan being like a fool under him, not even to think for himself. If Jonathan was very wise enough, do you think that after that statement Emeka did, it would have taken him to another step of thinking twice and knowing what to do next? This is the time. If it was Jonathan's life, if it was Jonathan was very wise, that statement would have let him cut himself from Emeka. But do you think that Jonathan will sit and think about it, or he will just go around it? Because all he thinks that Emeka is wise and very good. Because I don't understand. If you keep friends like Emeka, and you cannot even live for yourself, anything, reasoning for yourself, can you really be a man? Jonathan was blessed with a good family, a good wife, as well as a good daughter. But he has failed to see the goodness in them. Reason being that Emeka has been feeding his brain over his family, and this is the second time he is telling him that your daughter cannot trust you. If your daughter cannot trust you and he cannot tell you what is happening in her life, why do you trust her? And Jonathan believes in everyone needs a daughter like Benny. We understand, as I told you, Benny is very straightforward. Benny is very open. I like the way Benny's life is. Benny does not stay silent if he feels that what you are doing is wrong. She rather blasts you before you do anything, before anything happens. At least you blame her later, or she understands that she did wrong later, but at least she has given you her mind. And this Jonathan is not seeing her. Clara has been in her life over this time, but nothing has been taking place. Now my question is, should Clara or Teresa press the charges over Jonathan, over what Jonathan did to her? If you're the mother of Clara, after hearing what happened to your daughter Teresa, and as well as your daughter leaving the house, would you still press it hard for your daughter to go back to the marriage? This time around, I think that it's in the next episode. As for me, I think that in the next episode we will see Mama Clara changing her mind over Clara staying in her marriage. Maybe this time around we will see another new Clara's mother claiming that her daughter cannot go back to that toxic marriage, or to that man who does not even have a future, to that man who does not even know that he has to fight for his family, for that man who cannot reason for herself, who doesn't have responsibility. You see, what I saw in this movie is like the women cover up a lot for their men not to be disrespected in their families, and men try so much to show that side of the women's side family that he is a man enough to take care of his family. Yet the truth he knows that it's their woman or it's their daughter who is providing for the family. At the end of the day, when the woman leaves, they think that the woman, they say that the woman left the man because he is broke, not knowing that he is still even way behind. This woman has been the brain, the provider of the family. Now, my question is, if you are the mother of Clara, Teresa was hit or was pushed and she hit herself, and at the end of that she went into coma. Jonathan did not come to see or to check on her. Then you find that your daughter also left the house. Now, would you tell your daughter to go back to that marriage after all what has happened and all what he has done? Because it's already open that Jonathan is just a useless and irresponsible man. Because any man who is responsible, at least you check on the patient and see how far this man is. Now, wow, do you think the mom of Clara will still support Jonathan or no?